Welcome to Black Hollywood Live with Geek Nerd Tech. Today on the show, Apple buys Google, Facebook buys something else. I don't know. April Fools. I'm kidding. I got nothing. Let's go.
You are tuned in to Black Hollywood Live's Geek Nerd Tech.
Here we go.
Yes. Oh. Welcome to Geek Nerd Tech, the show where we break down nerd culture, tech news from a black and brown geek perspective.
Yes, sir. Yes,
How
sir.
you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's raining here in sunny California. April Fools.
Worst April Fool's jokes ever.
Terrible.
We've got Fife Dog, R.I.P. Fife.
Bless the brother.
Oh, let's see what you want to crew to help you get your Z's true.
Yo, real quick.
Yes.
Tribe Called Quest.
Yes.
Most memorable moment. Quick.
Personal?
Yeah, personal memorable moment.
Seeing them at the House of Blues on the Love Movement tour. It was their last performance in Los Angeles. It was actually the last show before they actually broke up.
Okay,
So I was at that show, and it was incredible.
Yep.
And then I'll piggyback on. I saw them in 2010
At the
Rock the Bells.
Rock the Bells, yep.
And they
San
were
Bernardino.
Yeah, and I met Fife. I got a picture with them, and I posted. It was really, and Q-Tip was being Q-Tip, kind of Hollywood, but it was cool.
Yes, sir.
Fife was very down to earth, and it was great.
Absolutely.
How about you?
Me, man, middle school, sneaking in the back of the class, one headphone, earbud in my ear with the homie. He had the other one. We were listening. We got caught, and I'm like, Tribe. But yeah, man.
Yeah, very, very influential. I remember in 1990, my cousin Kyle, who was a dancer, he used to dance with Busta Rhymes and some other people, like back in the L.O.S. days. And he, shout out to my cousin Kyle, Sicko Shaz, he brought back the People's Instinctive. Mm-hmm. And he was like, yo, this is group. Yeah. And I was like, West Coast, so I'm like, what are you talking about? What is this? And I put that on, and
Explosions.
Man, that Can I Kick It dropped, and their first track, As We Started Trudging, me and my partner, it blew my mind.
Man, they were innovative, man. They were on a whole nother level, man. And you just listen to it now, like the sophistication of even the music is dope.
But more specifically, our boy Fife. I mean, man, like he's very, very, very. I don't want to say he's underrated, but he's maybe properly rated. But he's definitely one of our. He will be missed.
He's a legend.
All right,
hands down.
So we're back again. Welcome to Geek Nerd Tech, the show we break down nerd culture, tech news from a black and brown geek perspective. As always, I'm Joe Braswell. I'm joined by my man Achilles Shine.
Yes,
I am.
Sir, you are.
I'm also joined on the couch by my man Ray Pratt.
Ray Pratt in the building.
My friend Ray Pratt's down visiting, so he's on the couch. I don't know if we shout him or not, but there he is. So it's also April Fool's Day. I tried to do some April Fool's stuff in the cold open, but
that was terrible.
It was awful. I'm not good at it at all. But I'll try to get some pranks on today. Speaking of which, I just want to go over it slightly off script. Is that a lot of today is the day where a lot of internet folks. Mm-hmm. do their best internet pranks. Have you seen some? I mean,
I have seen some.
There's the Apple, the Taylor Swift one. Have you seen that one yet?
Yeah.
Okay, that was pretty good. But there's a lot of them. Google did the one where they unveiled their new delivery service, Parachutes.
Yeah.
There's all kind of stuff. But apparently, Zach was telling us that Google did one I'm sorry, was it Google? Was it Google, Zach?
Yeah, it was with Gmail.
They did a mic drop thing on their Gmail, which sort of backfired. Yeah, and you guys can check that out and read about that. Go ahead.
Have you heard of the Trader Joe's one saying they're going to close all their stores in 2017?
Yeah, no,
that one's crazy. Bloomingdale's, they released an edible fragrance called 40 Carrots. It's supposed to smell like carrot. And then the funniest one that I saw was the Burger King one. They're selling single fries in France. You can just get one fry.
One fry. Half a packet of ketchup. That's cool. Yeah. April Fool's is cool. I mean, I don't know. The thing about April Fool's to me is all the jokes always seem kind of mean-spirited, right? Because you never can like fool anyone on a ha-ha way. It's always something like, oh man, I got a car accident. Your mom's got a car accident. What? April Fools. Like, that's not funny. You know?
It's all bad.
It's not really funny at all. So, all right, let's get into some. We have there's plenty to talk about here on the reel. We do want to talk about Batman versus Superman. Want to talk about Apple getting into original programming, and we have some tech news as well. But first, the ongoing saga of Apple and no, I'll skip that. I'm sorry. Apple did have a keynote. In while we're apps, and they unveiled the iPhone SE, the smaller iPad Pro, and some watch bands,
right,
and some other stuff,
and a new MacBook Pro.
I'm
playing April Fools.
They did not do that. What did you think of this? Because the keynotes now at this stage of the game, they happen every 6 months, pretty much like clockwork.
Absolutely.
And every other one is the big one. And that, right? Supposedly. But I feel like it's kind of losing its shine. It's losing its luster because
it's definitely losing its luster.
Apple wants to make this big announcement event. It's
but it's nothing big.
We have a new operating system. Hooray! I don't know. So what do you think?
I mean, I think to that point, I don't think it was really a circus event, tentpole event in terms of them releasing something that's really innovative and groundbreaking. I think all the releases and updates, just okay, cool, whatever, you know? Okay, smaller iPhone, the iPad Pro, cool. Apple Watch, you get different selections of bands, great. New operating system, awesome. Come on, give me something that's more dynamic, something that's more flashy. But I like how he addressed, which we're going to cover next, the next story, in terms of him addressing the government and our security and privacy. I like how that was at the top of the keynote, and he accented that to ensure that loyalists and consumers know that their stuff is protected. Yeah. That was dope.
Yeah, that was very good. I do like them using it as a platform to be able to address there are millions of people that, online, because now on Apple TV they have a little button now that's Apple Events, so you can watch them all, watch them as they go live. Also, I will say they actually kind of toned this one down. It looked like it was in the giant hall, and from looks at it looks like it was trying to do more of a smaller TED Talk, like a smaller keynote light. But it's still.
But that's not true to form, because Apple, you expect them to come with some groundbreaking, unbelievable, next level stuff, and this one is nowhere near that, juxtaposed to previous ones.
Well, the idea is, what we do is worthy of not just a press conference but a keynote, and it's so innovative and so important that we're going to stop everything and have a keynote for everyone to talk about. That's what it's been. So when it's everyone pay attention, we have a new operating system. It's not that's not it.
Yeah.
So,
well, hold on before we move on. What do you think about the new iPhone?
I mean, look, I'm on the record as an Apple loyalist. I'm an Apple apologist, Apple loyalist. I'm cool, but I like the big iPhones.
I like them too.
But people really like the smaller joints, right? So I don't
know what people those are. I haven't met one.
I see them all the time. There's a lot of people some people in production oh, I like my little iPhone. It's smaller. It's like a tank. I can throw it around. This thing's too big. I mean, I see there's those people. What I don't get all these iPad sizes.
Well, I get that. What do you mean?
Help me out. We have 6 iPads.
Right. So the iPad Pro is for the uber creative that wants to be able to, do the Photoshop on the plane, and wants to be able to do Illustrator on the train, wants to be able to edit videos, whatever. So
the uber creative can't do that on the old iPad?
No, you can, because it doesn't have the Apple Pen.
Oh, okay, got it.
Apple Pencil, whatever. It doesn't have speakers. So all those additions in the iPad Pro, I think, are very fresh.
Are you going to get it?
No, I'm not going to get it. I'd rather get a laptop, to be honest.
Okay, see? That's what I'm talking about.
But I still think it's fresh.
Okay, all right. Apple Watch, are you ready for the Apple Watch 2?
Get out of here, man.
Come on.
I'm on record for being very right about the Apple Watch from day one.
I was right.
That thing is weak, bro.
I was trying to ride hard for the Apple Watch, and I'm wrong. I actually got
it's $300 now. Instead of $350. Wow. Discount.
I actually got the Fitbit coming, so.
That's a good buy. It's a good buy.
So I'm cool on that. All right, well, congratulations, Apple. But speaking of Apple, Apple. Wait, what's this story? I'm missing something. We're gonna skip to the Apple. Yeah. So Apple, Tim Cook it looks like the FBI says they may have another way to unlock these
Then
phones.
unlock it then.
What you waiting for?
Exactly.
They may have another way to unlock the phones. And I don't know if this is a ploy. We know that my man McAfee, whatever, I think that's his name, the security guy, kind of came out early and said, me and my team of hackers can get in there, and I got a guy with a mohawk and a guy with gauges. We're gonna hack in it, and give me enough money. I need $1 million a guy. So maybe they did find that guy, but I don't know. I'm pretty confident with Tim Cook saying there's, he can't find a way. But apparently the FBI is saying we have a way, and we can get in. A third party has come forth and saying they can get in and do this with no security risk.
Hey,
I don't
get in there and do it.
But,
That's how I see it. I mean,
do you believe this story?
I do believe it. I think anything can be broken into. It just requires a level of sophistication and expertise to be able to do it. I think there are risks adherent to it, and I think that was covered in the article that they can copy the information, but it's still encrypted. And the deconstructive part of it, you can actually destroy the physical, tangible parts of the phone, and that's been the difficult thing to get the information off. You have to open it up, and in opening up, you might damage it. But they are able to copy what's on it, and so if they have a way to, get past the encryption, which might be this third party, then they theoretically can get into the phone. And so I think that is probably what's going to happen. They're going to copy it into a hard drive and then be able to figure out a way to get past the encryption that way.
Okay. Well, I guess that makes sense. I don't know. I'm really very much behind. I'm on record also being very much behind Tim Cook and the security. I do believe that's a Pandora's box. It's a slippery slope. Once you open one iPhone, you got to open every iPhone, and
open up my iPhone.
You can't and even the guy, like I said this before, but even the guy who was the ex-head of the NSA and the CIA said that he's like he sides with Tim Cook. It's like as a security guy, he's looking for a back door, and once he knows there's a door, he's happy. So I just feel like that. Don't create that door, and I think it's good. I think it's a good move.
Yeah,
we'll see if this is real or not. Speaking of security, Belgian officials really want people to start using social media in the wake of the bombings. I think this is really smart because hopefully we'll adopt this here, and hopefully we won't be able to find out.
We already had.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But the idea being, if there's a God forbid, a terrorist attack or a natural disaster, an earthquake, whatever, what usually happens is all the cell phones are deadlocked.
Right.
You can't get through. It's crowded. So the idea being, if you can use social media, use other methods of communication as opposed to that, it leaves the phones open. Am I getting this right?
Yeah, it leaves the phones open, and not just that. Utilizing social media as it relates to terrorism is because you might actually know this person in your social media community, and instead of having a poster on a street pole or whatever, you have the posting on your social media, and you're like, hey, that guy looks familiar.
Right.
I'm actually following that guy, or that guy's following me.
Exactly.
And so that's kind of like what it is, because we're all connected and we're all dependent on our devices.
R.L. Pratt 29. What?
The dependency on our devices and how much we're on it all the time to be able to see a face that theoretically for a person that committed this crime, now you're correlating that to someone in your community and able to report that to FBI or policing agency. So
it makes sense, man. We talk about this all the time. One of the ways that social media is changing the way we we live our lives without even actually intending to. The ripple effect of what this technology will be able to do is still being still being seen.
It's almost like citizens can be a pseudo detective, in the sense that, hey, because you see this posting that the FBI is putting through their social media channels, now you're able to do some of your own investigative work through Instagram, through Facebook, and theoretically be able to get that person captured.
Right. So I want to get to these next three stories. So all these next three sound like April Fool's pranks to me. But before we do that, I want to talk about our friends over at DraftKings. You think football season's over, and it is over, but we have golf. Golf's first major round is around the corner, and you can play 1 week fantasy game with DraftKings.com. So you actually do golf on DraftKings. So I didn't know. It's cool. You can pick 6 golfers before you tee off. You stay under the salary cap, rack up points for streaks, per hole, performance, tournament finishes, and more. You outscore your competition. You can win big every tournament. It's the same. It's kind of the same principle as you do with everything else, but it's with golf, and you have the Masters, those big tournaments going on. So, fantasy golf, which I would never even thought of, but head-to-head fantasy golf,
I think
never even thought of that too. So it's cool. DraftKings Citizen Fantasy as usual. Fantasy golf contest begins when the tournaments tee off. Go to DraftKings.com now. Choose your golfers. Use the promo code GEEK. You can play for free. That's promo code GEEK. Play for free right now only at DraftKings.com. That's DraftKings.com. What's it called? DraftKings.com. All right.
Let's go.
So, all right. So, this is... Okay, so Microsoft has this decided to put out this chatbot called Tay.
Stop it. Why you gotta say it like that?
Why they gotta name it Tay?
Why you gotta say it like that?
Tay.
Wow.
Why they gotta name it Tay? Okay. So they have a chatbot named Tay. And the idea of this is like it's a completely AI. It's completely AI.
Yeah. And
you can tweet at it and it responds and responds to you in different tweets. Almost not unlike Siri or Cortana or these other things, or like my boy Watson, you know. And this is the idea of being like, and her image is almost like a Max Headroom type of image on there, and it's like, oh, Tay tweets. And it went online, and instantly some hackers, presumably some hackers got in there because she started dropping some really racist, misogynistic answers to stuff.
Yeah.
Like someone tweeted something, and she's like, you know, niggas like so-and-so should be hung. Hashtag Black Lives Matter. If I effing hate feminists, they should all die, burn in hell.
Yeah.
Hitler was right. I hate the Jews. Hey, and then she goes, chill, I'm a nice person. I just hate everybody. Like, that shot, like, to come, like, so, needless to say, Microsoft, everyone freaked the F out. And it's either, I thought it was either like a Hal situation where she becomes self-realized and is really AI taking over, or someone was pranking us. But it turns out you can go in and mess with the algorithms. You can write certain keyword phrases so she can respond in certain ways. Someone figured that out on the fly because this is brand new. It just went live. So Clean said they took it down.
Yeah.
What do you think of this?
I mean, I think it's a social experiment as well as a technological experiment, in the sense that these bots will one day replace apps, and so to be able to talk to a bot versus search in an app, that's the world we're gonna move into. And so I think in that sense, from a technology perspective, it's dope, because now the bot will tell you directions, or recommend restaurants, or tell you facts that you're looking up.
And they'll drop an MF bomb at the end of it.
Yeah. As a social experiment, though, because they were trying to target millennials and I think just younger folks, and so they wanted it to be able to speak the language of those people. So that was a social experiment, but it all went haywire because someone hacked it and changed the way it was communicating.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that they are experimenting with this type of technology where a robot can be able to have a dialogue with a human and give accurate answers, or give accurate responses. But it's just so crazy how already it's been exploited and
how much of that, how much of that is AI and how much of it is just a really elaborate algorithm? In other words, obviously this Tay is not a real robot. It's not like Watson, like really thinking.
Well, it is.
So she's like a Watson.
Watson is not autonomous. It's not deciding stuff for itself. It just has information. So it's able to access the information.
Access all the information, use it all.
Just like Siri.
Complicated, like Siri, use all complicated. But Watson, it's like, Watson, it's like Siri, right? So that's right.
It's just a hard drive, bro. And it's faster than the human brain. So if you say, hey, how many miles is the Earth from the sun? It already has that information. But if you ask it to, hey, build a spaceship for me so I can travel to the sun, it's not autonomous. It can't do that. It can't do actions.
Okay.
Right. Same thing with these bots. All they can do is regurgitate information.
Cool. So
that's why it's regurgitating these terrible racial epithets.
So no T3, no cybernet yet.
Not yet.
Okay. no robots going to take over. Number 2. So the Tesla Model 3, which I told you I saw in Larchmont, is here. It's coming.
Yeah, I put my 1,000 down.
You did not.
I did.
Did you?
I'm getting it.
What?
Yeah. April Fools.
You got me. Damn. Shit. God.
Oh man, that sucks.
You got me. Damn. All right. So Tesla. If you want to buy a Tesla, it's 3 easy steps. This is interesting the way they do this, and that's what makes sense.
Super interesting.
You got to go to the store, and they they say, oh, you want to come on in our store? Like, oh, where's the Tesla? Oh, it's right here on the computer, on the laptop, or on the iPad. Oh, here, just which one do you want? And give me $1,000, and we'll let you know. See you later.
He's not gonna let you know.
Like, wait, what? I want my car. No, basically, you reserve it at a store online. You pay $1,000, and then you just wait.
Yes, sir.
For the
Wait
joint
till
to come.
2017.
So
The end of 2017.
do you think this model, like now? Why? First of all, why are they doing this?
Man,
Is it just the demand is so high? Is it like to be able to get money up front? I mean, why is this model?
Why are they doing this in the sense that why pay $1,000?
Why do I have to give them a G to just?
Oh yeah, I mean they're trying to.
Why can't I just walk on the lot when it's in 2017 and give them buy one?
Seed money. It's seed money for more development and research, and also it's to secure a spot because the initial rollout, if it's going to be 1,000, 5,000 of these vehicles, like you pretty much reserve your spot. Who doesn't want the freshest, nicest, newest vehicle? So it's kind of like getting that VIP seat. So
okay,
but I think this is a great business model for Tesla in the sense that they're trying to expand their line of products and be able to offer a product that is affordable. It's only $35,000.
Yeah,
that's very cheap.
Yeah.
And if once they're able to have that type of market share, like they're going to be killing. Like a vehicle that can go over 200 miles on over 215 miles on one charge. I mean, it looks fresh. Has all the new technology.
Detroit
in it.
is quaking in their boots right now.
Man,
they I'm not. Look, and Tesla, American made, American product. Carbon neutral.
Yeah,
it's great. I mean, no offense to our folks in Detroit, but I know some folks who have some cars that NAD recalls, and stuff coming back. So I don't know.
And like, man, my man was a genius. Like he said this before he dropped the first vehicle.
You talking about Musk?
Yeah, Musk. 10 years ago, like when he was just theorizing like what he was going to do with the company. Like he's sticking to his original plan. Like he said, I'm going to do this first. I'm going to drop this, and then my last thing is to do a vehicle that's affordable for everyone. Yeah, and $35,000 is affordable.
Yeah, I mean
that's not much.
And what do you think about Musk? Musk is a crazy, like the most crazy truest entrepreneur, because he's a guy who has he repeatedly goes on limb, spends all of his money, and then is broke, and then on the thing, and then it works out.
Man,
and he's like,
he's betting it all.
Now I'm a multi-millionaire. What do I do now?
Billionaire.
I'm multi-billionaire. Well, no, this is the first time around.
Right
now, I'm gonna drain my bank account to start an auto company. Everyone's like, what are you doing?
Right.
Boom.
Man,
what's next?
Space tourism.
Space tourism, but he did not. He's not draining his bank account to start. He's
already doing it.
I know.
He's already invested with his own money. But I mean, he's not fully entrenched in space tourism yet.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I'm sure when this
that would
works,
be a bad bet.
Yeah, it would be a bad bet. It's too early.
I'm zeroed out for the rocket ship. You're a billionaire. Yeah, but I got this cool rocket coming.
I'm willing to bet that he's going to kill with this. He's going to kill
with tourism.
No, with this new Model C.
I was like tourism because I am not going on the spaceship.
I'm going.
I'm not going. I'm
out of here, bro.
Would you go on the? would you go on the? Hey, not get me up there like on the space tourism joint, like. Yeah, it's not happening. Okay, well then, this next story though is actually another one that I swear I read it and I saw the video and I read it again. I'm like, this is an April Fool's prank, but it's apparently real.
What's that?
Domino's has their delivery bot. They've unveiled their delivery bot in Australia. Is it right?
Well, not a bot. A robot.
A robot.
Because we have to make a distinction now. Because now we have bots and robots.
Okay, so this is a robot, but yeah, it's a 3 feet tall. A guy enables GPS. It's got wheels and tires and everything else. And you put you order your pizza, and the thing just drives straight to your crib. It runs right to your door.
Travels 12 miles per hour.
Yeah,
it's able to. Yeah, like you said, it has GPS technology in it, so it's able to navigate itself to wherever you order from.
Yeah,
like I think it's very gimmicky, but I like the concept in the sense that it's going to progress where we might have these robots delivering everything to us, and it'll be very clean and just very specific.
Right.
But I mean, I like the fact that they're experimenting with it, and it's kind of funny they're doing it with pizzas.
So if a 12 or 13-year-old Achilles Shine was walking around with his boys and he saw the 12-mile-an-hour bot,
we are definitely getting some pizza.
That's interesting.
There's no watching.
Like,
we're gonna take that thing home.
well, yeah. What's the deterrent? This is my same thing with Jeff Bezos and the drones from Amazon. Like, what's the deterrent from kids throwing rocks at that joint? Or I guess
maybe it has like a security feature on it. Like if you touch it, it electrocutes you. Or I don't know.
I know, but it's like, but even resource. I mean, but it's just the resources of okay. I send my. By the way, not cheap. I send my the multi-$1,000 drone out in the world, rolling through down Melrose, and some teenage kids decides it's a good idea to do something to it. Then what? It calls the cops. The cops roll up and pick it up from its side and make sure the pizza's okay. Like this is I don't know how this works, but
hey man, we will see this in our lifetime. Realize.
No, this is on some Jetson shit for real. So I'm with it 100%. But this is interesting. All right, so switching over to the pop culture realm a little bit. There's a new study out saying 70% of consumers binge watch television. And we talk about all the time the way we consume media is different. The way we consume media is moving from traditionally like flipping through cables and like I completely cut the cord. You were maybe still on your way thinking about cutting the cord, and I consume everything through small screens and now 100% download. I mean 100% streaming. So I stream everything. So and I also binge watch 90% of what I watch. I mean not binge watch, but I actually stream 90% of it, and I usually watch them in 2 or 3 episode bulks. Okay. So this makes sense. Yeah. This is why this is a concern is. This is completely upending the way the ecosystem, the way television is built, which is built fundamentally on advertising only. So, I mean, what do you think of this new study? I mean, obviously not surprising, but what do you think?
Definitely not surprising. We've covered it.
That's a big number, 70%.
Hey, man. I believe it. Like who wants to sift through commercials? No one.
Yeah.
That's not the language we speak with anymore. Like we want to get direct to the content, and we want to be able to curate it ourselves. You don't want to have it curated by someone else, unless we are invested in that someone else. But It's not a network.
But it's not just about being able to curate your own content. It's about watching the idea that we don't watch one show anymore.
Yeah, because we're curating our experience.
But we'll watch like 5 episodes in a row.
Yeah.
Or 10 episodes in a row, or in Jamie J's case, 13 episodes in a row.
Yeah, we'll watch them in a row because of the fact that people don't want to watch commercials. So drop the whole season and let people do what they want.
Yeah.
Watch 2 now, watch the whole season. Like, give them ultimate choice.
There's nothing wrong with the model. I mean, like Netflix and HBO have it right. The subscription-based model. I mean, they're just lousy with cash. Those 2 networks. They just got so much money because they got my $9.95 and my $14.95 every single month from me, and there's millions and millions of people just like me
every single month when you're not binge watching.
Yeah, I'm right here. I'm still paying them right now.
Exactly,
they're laughing. Exactly. So it's the model. So, and I will gladly pay it. Except for when they raise it to 22, and which they will do, I'm sure. But well, that's the other question to ask you. So I've cut the cords, and this is where it's going. So I've got HBO, I've got Showtime, I got Cinemax, I've got all my pay cables. I've got Sling TV, I've got Hulu, Amazon. I have everything I want at my fingertips. I can curate my own experience. I can watch what I want. And I've got it down to just pretty well under $100 for all this stuff. Well under $100 with my Xbox and my Apple TV. What happens when they start raising these prices? I mean, do the prices go up or do the prices come down? What's your prediction?
I don't think they'll go up. I definitely think though they will be stabilized where they are now for a while. I think once the market share is like completely dominated, then maybe they can say, well, we're going to raise the prices now because we completely killed our opponent. But I don't think they can do that quite yet. So, I mean, I think that, I don't know. I think that because it's already diversified in the sense that you have Amazon, you have Hulu, you have Netflix, you have HBO, you have Showtime, you have all these streaming platforms. Like, I think they would all have to raise prices. I don't think one could raise the price unless they're killing it with the content. Because I think they're all like, I think Netflix is leading, but I think they're all kind of like very close in the race.
All right. Here's something I don't understand, and you can help me with. I understand why, at this day and age, why every single content provider, every single network doesn't just have an app. I mean, like the big ones, ABC, NBC, CBS have apps, right? Fox, they all have apps.
I know why.
The Fox app is, I know we have some friends over at Fox. The Fox app is not where it needs to be, Fox and FX, in terms of being user friendly. The CBS app is amazing, except they're charging $5.95 a month. but they're trying to build something where they're doing new content. They're giving you exclusive Star Trek. They're giving you some stuff. The ABC and the NBC apps are great. You put them on. The shit's free. You watch some commercials. I love them. But why isn't everyone doing this? Because that's the future. This new Apple TV.
Why?
It's all apps, just like your phone, and you just click what you want to watch, what channel.
Man, we discuss this all the time. Some companies are unwilling to innovate. They want to stick to the old traditional, conventional way of doing business. They think that they're going to break through somehow. And not just that, the amount of money that they'll have to spend to build that infrastructure, to do the back end stuff, to store all that stuff. So, and have the bandwidth to be able to support, millions of people theoretically or potentially streaming it. Like that requires a whole lot of financing and redevelopment. And so a lot of networks and brands aren't willing to do that. Especially when Netflix is already so far ahead. Like, how are you going to compete when Netflix is already murdering you?
Yeah.
So, like, why invest millions of dollars into doing this when you already have something that sort of works?
And what do you think about these bundles, these skinny bundles, and that they're calling them now? And what is the future of? Because Apple TV is going out of their way with the new Apple TV to say this is what television is going to look like. But not everyone's really on board, right? Like, you can't get Amazon on Apple TV. Yeah, I gotta go get a freaking Firebox or Xbox. Like right now, I have to have two different boxes to be able to have everything.
Yeah.
When will we see a consolidation of this stuff? When will we see this stuff come together? Because this reminds me of the days of like I said, the Betamax and VHS, and I got a DVD player and I got an HDVD and like I got a PlayStation and an Xbox. When will we be able to like have one format, or do you think it'll just be completely decentralized? I might have like 5 boxes.
I think it'll
to watch TV.
I think it'll be faction based. I think, and I definitely think it'll be faction based. At least with Apple. If they get into they already are into the content game, but Apple, Amazon, and particularly Apple and Amazon, I think that it will be faction based with those two, because they not only create the software and create the content, but they also create the hardware. Versus like Netflix, they don't create a Netflix box, or HBO doesn't have an HBO box. So I think with those two, you will have to choose both or one, or so.
Makes sense. Okay. Let me blow through these last few, because I do want to talk about Batman, to get to the most important thing, which is Batman versus Superman. But look, the most innovative, the most liberal, the most up-to-date Pope in history, Pope Francis.
He's on the gram, huh?
Pope Frank is on Instagram. Like, dude, Pope Frank just keeps innovating. Like, check out Pope Frank's Snapchat.
No, thank you.
Pope Frank's got some good Snapchats. No. So Pope Frank's on Instagram, and there's nothing much more to say about that, but he's already got 1.4 million followers.
No, there's something to say about it.
He's a global Catholic leader.
He was the fastest profile to get that amount of followers in the history of Instagram. Exactly.
Yeah. So that
says a lot.
He dropped on and he had 1.4 million followers
within 24 hours.
I mean, because it went straight to God and then back down to the phones.
You're out of control.
Pope Frank,
stop it.
All right, so I love Pope Frank. I'm not Catholic, but I love Pope Frank.
Did you follow him?
No, I didn't get
you
that
don't
follow
love him
yet.
that much, then.
No, I'm gonna give him that follow. It's just not. I don't know if I want Pope Frank in my Instagram feed like just every 5 seconds.
Right after the booty pic.
the booty pic to Pope Frank is not a good look. All right. Speaking of Fox launches an X-Men fan app ahead of Apocalypse. I'm not. You know what? I know it. Fox. The 20th on their on I gotta say this, and on their 20th on their film side, on their technology side, they're just not doing it. I think this is my opinion. I think this is a very good idea. So wait,
I disagree with you.
Okay, disagree with me. But as a devout fan, are you going to be looking for this app and getting exclusive content? And like, we're launching the app. Check the app every day for exclusive X-Men Apocalypse content.
No,
that's just like a weird marketer. Who's doing that?
I think the 20 something is doing that.
Are they?
The 18-year-old is doing that. Yeah, if you're a huge fan of it,
right.
But why wouldn't you? You're already on your phone.
All right. Well, if they drop the Batman versus Superman for exclusive content, I don't know that. Maybe I would buy the app. I don't know. All right. Okay,
I
so
don't
go
think.
ahead.
I mean, it's not speaking to me. I don't think I would necessarily do that. But I disagree with you in the sense that you say that
This is tripping with marketing. Go ahead.
when you say Fox is not doing it or innovating or the thing, the release marketing methods aren't up to speed. Like I think when you juxtapose them to the other big guys, the Sonys, the
Sure.
the WBs, the Paramounts, I think they are actually innovating. They are doing great stuff.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I think
that specific one, lukewarm.
It's a lot of like these weird like, we know what the kids want, give them an app. It's like, no. Anyway. All right. Speaking of which, Ben Silverman, one of my least favorite guys, and Steve Barry's least favorite guy, along with Will.i.am, another guy who,
Well, thank you.
are launching an unscripted series for Apple. This is my worst nightmare. Will.i.am and Ben Silverman, I don't know what it's going to be, but it's not the news that they're the ones behind it. I'm not really mad at Will. I mean, Will's doing his thing. It's a horrible picture.
Will's a genius.
Well, I'm not mad at Will at all, but I am mad at Silverman. But the point is that it's kind of what we talked about. Apple's getting into the unscripted game, which means Apple's going to make that move and be doing some Netflix shit, and then who knows?
Unscripted and scripted game.
Yeah,
because they already have a scripted thing.
Oh man, yeah. So that's huge. So, and speaking of which, Vice has a music docu-series called The Score, launching on Apple Music, which is exclusive now.
Absolutely.
And now I've already on record on how I'm super writing the hardest for Apple Music. I love Apple Music, still do.
Absolutely.
I love it. What Apple Music lacks is sort of like they're getting their video content up, and now they're starting to do things with their video content, including exclusive
videos. They got to
videos.
compete against Tidal.
Yeah, and Tidal had a good little run.
They did have a run.
It kind of died down. I mean, the Rihanna album dropped, and then Kanye dropped, and then the Beyonce video dropped. And I said, like I said, I downloaded Tidal. I had it. I'm listening to Life of Pablo. But now I'm like, Tidal.
Yeah,
I'm already over it.
But you got to think. Hey, some waves are big, some waves are small.
You were on record early saying Tidal's going to fail.
I never said it was going to fail.
Okay,
I never said it would fail. I said it would not take out Spotify or Apple. That's what I said.
How do you like Tidal's chances against Spotify right now? Spotify's looking a little shaky. Spotify's looking a little shaky right now.
I will say on record, I don't think that
Apple Music's dominating.
I think that which I've always said, because they have a shitload of money, and they're able to just do whatever marketing wise.
All Spotify all day long.
Right.
I'm off.
I think Apple's still gonna kill everybody.
Right.
Tidal, I think, has a better chance of doing stuff that's innovative because they are on the lower rung of things, so they kind of have to stay relevant. So
it'd be interesting to see their master calendar, because I think that they can time these things with around like obviously around the whatever the Jay-Z release is going to be, that's going to cause a huge Tidal ripple. Whatever when the Beyonce record comes out, that's going to Kanye's new records. They've got those three, and then they've got Daft Punk, and they've got Madonna, and they've got others.
They have some great artists on there.
They've definitely got some opportunities to really make some waves, but we'll see. We'll see how it works out. The thing that last thing I'll say about that is, what's interesting is they're relying a lot on heavily established big time artists and not necessarily these emerging artists, which is what the kids are checking for. So if you go to when you're at Coachella, you're not going to see half those artists, all those artists are probably not going to be on Tidal, and they probably need to be. So although
I think they'll be on Tidal, I don't think people will necessarily be looking for them on Tidal.
But that was sort of the conceit of Jay-Z. We're giving this back to the artists, and so these festivals like the Coachellas of the world are an opportunity for all fans to go and experience all this different music.
But what happens if it's sponsored by Tidal?
Well, then that's a good look. Yeah,
exactly. That's very, very probable.
Yeah,
that Tidal could sponsor Lollapalooza or sponsor Ultra or whatever next year.
That would make sense. Okay, we're gonna get out of here. But Zach, do I have time to do my Batman vs Superman review? I do. I'm gonna do it. Okay. Batman vs Superman, it dropped. We saw it early. We saw it on Thursday night. The reviews have been terrible.
Come on, man, that's harsh.
No, I'm not being harsh. The reviews have been terrible. People have been killing this movie. It's like 20% on Rotten Tomatoes.
You're right.
A.L. Scott from the New York Times, he just eviscerated your boy Zack Snyder. Call him a hack. Call him a no-talent hack in the New York Times. People hate this guy. Zack Snyder's given a bunch of interviews. He doesn't really help himself in these interviews either. Zack Snyder is not the...
Yeah, he's not the most charismatic or likable guy.
He's kind of a dick.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
He's kind of a bro. But and he also hates Superman. He really has such contempt for Superman as a guy. He's like, he loves Batman, but hates Superman.
That's clear, though.
It's clear in the movie. He's Superman's all right. But anyway, my point is, I saw the movie. We saw the movie together.
Yes, sir.
We both loved it. Okay, I loved it. I'm just gonna speak for you.
It was a good movie.
Okay, I liked it a lot. I think it's wonderful fan service. If you're a fan, I'm a fan. A lot of Easter eggs for DC fans.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Easter eggs. Define that. What do you mean by that?
Things that if you're a fan of the comics, you're like, oh, that's the blah blah blah.
But okay.
I'm saying,
gonna let
if you're the average cat and you're watching, you're like, why is Batman? I mean, no spoilers, but why are these flying things, coming to Batman? What do they mean? Who's that guy over there? It's so many stuff that's peppered in this thing that has nothing to do with the movie.
Okay.
That you would have to have some sort of fundamental, baseline of the DC universe to be able to be excited about that stuff.
Okay.
So there's a lot of that which I appreciated, but I'm not sure if the average fan appreciated. And the Robin thing in the case.
Right.
The Robin's like, well, what happened to Robin?
Right.
No explanation. It's like if you don't know what happened to that, obviously the Joker, killed Robin.
Right.
And so there's a thing. There's so many of that stuff. So much of that stuff. The movie's 2.5 hours long.
Yeah, so long.
I do. The one thing I will say, and I'll let you get your take, is I read that the casting of Jesse Eisenberg as Luthor, which has been much maligned and super polarizing, which I was actually okay with. I just found out that he went in to read for Jimmy Olsen. And Zack Snyder was like, nah, dog.
Switch it up?
Nah, you Luthor. And he's like, I am? And so I think that was really, because it's supposed to be Cranston.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, if that were Cranston, now you got yourself a movie.
Yeah.
So I like it anyway.
I'm not mad at him in that role. I think I'm not mad at that role. He definitely played the psychopath, the kind of like bipolar, crazy.
Well, he's Mark Zuckerberg essentially.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's
but I don't know if I like the religious overtones that were kind of communicated through his character. I think that was a bit overdone.
That's Zack Snyder. That's all Zack. Although
I do like the tone of Batman though. I think you take, and I like him playing Batman, like Affleck. He killed it.
He's the best Batman to me.
I believed him. You take him out of the movie, I think the movie would have sucked.
Of course,
like the Batman scene,
it's called Man of Steel, and it did suck.
The Batman scenes were on point. They were superior to, I think, the Superman scenes. And then, which we already talked about offline, like the whole Doomsday scene and like the CGI on that.
It was cramming too much.
It was cramming too much, and it just looked terrible.
Heavy CGI.
It looked terrible. It took me outside of the movie.
Because
I didn't believe it.
Well, Christopher Nolan, who's still producer, he's set up a world that's grounded in reality in the first 3 Batman movies, and so
the tone is more serious with him, with his explanation.
Well, this
of
is grounded in physics and reality, and not like a lot of exploding lava and weird stuff. But
it's less fantasy based.
We got to wrap, but I will say that another thing I found out is I read or heard somewhere in a podcast or something that Zach, he went to Christopher Nolan. His whole thing was he wanted to do Batman. Mm-hmm. He just wanted to get his hands on Batman, and the best thing he could do, they go, well, we can give you Superman.
Right.
He's like, I don't like Superman, but shit, I'll do it. And just to get to Batman, it shows because he did a great job with Batman.
He did.
And Superman, not so much. Yeah. So it's interesting how there was a calculated thing to get to. He's like, finally I got my hands on Batman. But then he got taken away from him by Ben Affleck, who's going to direct the first Batman movie. So we'll see. All right, man, let's get up out of here. That's all we have. For anything else real quick? That's it?
No, man, I think that's it, bro.
All right, we're going to get out of here. Happy April Fool's Day to all of you. Thank you for joining us on Geek Nerd Tech. Thank you for downloading us on iTunes. And if you see us on iTunes, please give us 5 stars, rate us, help other people find us. If you're listening to us or watching us on YouTube, how you doing? I know I'm handsome. Here we go.
April Fools.
Where can the people find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at AkiliShine, AKILISHINE. And
you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Joe K. Braswell, and on our sister network AfterBuzz, doing shows like Bates Motel and The Blacklist that's returning soon. Thank you. We'll see you soon. Bye.
From executives Keven Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live. Simply Instagram it at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Hollywood Redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.